the Warrior One is a lot of thoracic extension. Our other stretches open up the muscles that are around to help extension, but we also want to help the spine extend. Now we can do that with our foam rollers. Now this is not a very thick foam roller from the conventional ones that you buy around the place and do the foam rolling with. This is really only about the thickness of my fist. Now we can roll up just a normal gym hand towel, which is my favourite and most practical, most useful method for the last 16 years, because there's always one lying around, and it's more or less about the right thickness or the right width. Now, if people can't tolerate that thickness, they definitely need to do more of it. All you have to do is unroll it so there's a little bit of a tail until it becomes discomfort as opposed to pain. Now, so with the crane and the tiger, we have thoracic extension. Now, depending on where you are in your development, I would start with the longitudinal thoracic extension. So if you think, if I imagine lying horizontally on this, I've got pressure at my neck, my head, and my pelvis at one end, and gravity is pushing down equally, and it's just reversing these curves. It's reversing them to encourage a neutral spine, a normal spine. So when you're beginning, and certainly if you've had any shoulder impingement or low back, so if you look at joint pain, what we want to do is take out where you're most likely going to compensate in this stretch and start with the longitudinal. So that can apply to the tiger as well as to the crane. So the longitudinal stretch, or spine mobilization, thoracic, is to lie, put your tailbone at the end of the mat, end of the pad, end of the roller, so that your head fits down. Knees are bent, because that puts the pelvis in a posterior tilt. If we do it here, there's more of encourage an anterior tilt and excessive lumbar spine, which is what we're trying to get away from in the crane. So knees bent, and feet are quite wide, and then arms out wide. We just get a little bit of opening up the stretch, palms not turned down, palms facing up, and all we're going to do here is just go diaphragmatic breath. Of course, should be looking up. I'm just looking at the camera, and you just diaphragmatically breathe, which absolutely relaxes you. Aim to get it through the nose. So I teach my clients how to breathe properly or diaphragmatically and do this at the same time. It takes me about 2 to 3 minutes to talk all about all of those different aspects. And it takes about 2 or 3 minutes for this to really do its job in terms of relaxing your spine, because it does the work of the muscles of the spine, relaxes the muscles of the spine. So you want to do it for at least 3 minutes, and you can do it up to 15 minutes. When I was training for the 250 kilometre ultra marathons with a backpack on my back, I used to come home after a 4-hour hike / run for 4 hours or more, and my back was quite sore with the weight, which was up to 10 kilos, that the first thing I'd do after the shower would be to lie on the foam roller for up to 15 minutes, just to normalise the spine and take out all the places where it locks out, just to release that pressure. So that's the longitudinal. If I use the towel, which obviously I can't do longitudinally, but I'm going to do latitudinally, which you can do for the localizer segment. Now, if I lie on my front, and you want to have a look to see where the biggest apex of the spinal curve is, so for me it's somewhere around here. So that's the point that is probably the tightest, the most locked. So I'm going to put the towel in, and then put that in the center of the spine, and then there. So it's very targeted stretch or mobilization. It's encouraging that tightest part to relax. Now it's just slightly discomfort. I'm just going to adjust it slightly. Slightly discomfort there. This is probably where I'm the most locked. It's where I'm hinged. It's where I'm hanging most of my posture on. So we just holding that there. You can put a hands here for your diaphragmatic breath. But you'll find after 3 minutes, some of that discomfort is crept away as you just calm and you sort of zen out with the stretch. If it's too much of a stretch, you can unroll the towel a little bit, or if there's some pressure on your neck, you can get another smaller towel to support your neck, which is definitely what I recommend you do if you're using one of those bigger foam rollers that you actually do foam rolling on. So that's the thoracic extension, 2 versions.